Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Crawford with the Nesting in Nashville team, and I am here today to talk about condominiums. So we sell a ton of property in the Nashville urban core, which means that we sell a lot of condominiums. And in my experience, a lot of buyers are not prepared for the challenges and the differences that come along with buying a condominium as opposed to buying a single family home. So I'm going to create a video series that is all about buying and financing a condominium, because financing is the optimal word here. The first thing you need to know is that buying a condo is unlike buying a single family home, right? When you buy a house, you have it inspected, the bank does the appraisal, you close, and it's yours. When you buy a condo, there are more hoops that you have to jump through. It's more involved. There's a homeowners association, and the bank scrutinizes a condo development more than they would a single family home. So there are a few reasons for this, that banks view loans on condominiums as riskier investments than they do as a single family home. So because of this, you're going to have maybe a slightly higher interest rate depending on the development. You might have different underwriting guidelines, which means that you could have different down payment requirements. And other factors come into play. Like if you're going to use the condo as as your primary residence, you'll have one set of rules. If it's going to be a second home for maybe for a family member, for a student at Vandy or Belmont, it might be a different set of underwriting guidelines. If it's going to be an investment property, there'll be a totally different set of guidelines. The optimal thing here to know that banks view condos differently. There's a difference between condos and townhomes, and there's a difference between the usage intent for your mortgage. And it's not just you that is applying for a loan when you buy at a condo. The development itself also has to qualify. The banks will have questions about the ratio of owner occupants as opposed to the ratio of investors or second home owners in the building. If that ratio of owner occupants is low, then they're going to have even more questions and want to know about the stability of the homeowner reserves. So they'll ask for a reserve study that needs to prove that there's at least 10% saved in the homeowners association as reserves for work going forward. They're also going to ask about the percentage of FHA and VA loans in the building. I'm not sure why, but they're concerned about having a high ratio of government funded loans in a building. And then also there's a question about whether it's a condo or a townhome. So they're two different things. In general, condos are vertical. Somebody in the development lives above or below somebody else, where townhomes generally they're horizontal. Everybody lives side by side with a different entrance. Condominiums tend to have more common space that's managed by the homeowners association, or townhomes have little or no common space that's owned. Banks generally don't have these questions about townhomes, but sometimes it can be challenging to know whether you're looking at a condo or a townhome. Like for instance, there's a development in Green Hills that if you were looking on the outside, you would be sure that it was a townhome development. But because there's a couple of units on the end of one building where it's like a one-bedroom flat on top of another one-bedroom flat where everything else is, two bedrooms stacked, they view it as a condo development instead of as a townhome. And sometimes it has to do with how the developer deeded the condo when it was first built. So trends on that have changed over time. It could be a horizontal property regime or a condominium complex or a PUD, planned unit development. There are all different ways to deed these things. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make messily is that condos are challenging. There are a ton more steps involved in buying a condominium. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a condominium, you should work with an agent that understands the intricacies and that can show you what to expect in the process. So I'm going to make a few more videos and get more in depth on a few of the points that I've brought up here. And please let me know if you have any questions specifically, and I look forward to talking with you soon.